Good evening, everyone. As you can see, what's cooking today in the wide-eyed way? I've already cooked it. So I'm sitting here, I thought I'd mix it up a little bit and put you in my dining room. I've got no makeup on because I've been weeding all day and I've also cleaned my car. Smug is what I am. My patio was just in such a state, and that's what I've been doing, so that's been really great. I have cooked for myself this evening quinoa, a sort of quinoa stew. It's got chorizo, wild salmon and green peppers in it, and I will serve it up in a moment, but I don't want it to get cold while I'm talking to you. Quinoa is a really brilliant thing. It's not low carb, so don't go thinking that it is. It's got a lower carbohydrate content than rice, but it's still a carb. And it's Saturday, I've worked very hard all day, I'm having some quinoa. The very nice thing about quinoa is that it is higher in protein than rice, so that's an added bonus. Chorizo, if you want to be really pedantic about it. There are so many different types. I've actually gone for the cheaper type today because we're looking at budget healthy meals, aren't we? So with that in mind, I went for pre-sliced Tesco's chorizo. I have used the chorizo ring, but it's double the price. And to be honest, it tastes the same. So this is pre-sliced, so it's quite thin pieces in the stew itself. There's green pepper in there, so you've got vitamin C in green pepper, onion, and I've used wild salmon. Now wild salmon, of course, is going to be fairly expensive. I bought it frozen, so it's cheaper, but it's still an expensive type of fish. But if you're going to have salmon, try not to have the farmed stuff. They're just, we won't even go into the sort of lack of health benefits that farmed salmon gives you. So really the things that it's hailed for, the omega-3s and the sort of beneficial nutrients in salmon, just go out the window if it's farmed. So, just a small amount is good. You're going to get far more out of it. And in something like this, of course, the flavour goes throughout the dish, which is brilliant. Then I've got the side salad here, the side salad I talked about last night, which is the spinach, rocket and watercress. So we've got some great leafy green vegetables. To unlock the nutrients, what do? We add olive oil because it needs a fat to unlock that inside us. Eating a bowl of salad with no dressing on, you'll have no benefit from it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put some vinegar and olive oil, a bit of salt and pepper on there. I've rolled my lemon. If you watched last night, you'll know why that is. I've got a brilliant squeezer. I'm still saying brilliant, and I'm very aware of it. I've got some water. Prices. So for the whole dish, if you're using wild salmon, this feeds 2 people. We're looking at £5.19 between the two of you. So again, around the £2.50 mark per day, I would say is a good benchmark if you've got that sort of money. If you want to go for a cheaper option, you'd go for frozen cooked mussels, but you'd let them defrost before you started to cook them. They are such a good source of vitamins and minerals that they are probably the best cheap option for you to get seafood into your diet. There's zinc and all sorts of things that is a really, really good option. So, and again, you're going to have that in the freezer. The same with the wild salmon frozen. These things can be in the freezer, so you're not having loads of fresh food to hand that's going to go off. This sort of stuff, of course, is going to be more tricky to keep fresh. You're going to have to buy that fairly regularly. Top tip on salads, there's a brand in Tesco's called Naked, and it's not washed. And if you buy washed salad, it breaks down a lot quicker than if you buy the Naked stuff. So the stuff that you don't have, that you wash yourself, is a far better option. That lasts about a week in the fridge. Win-win. But make sure it's got the all the different really dark leaf vegetables. Iceberg pretty much has no benefits to it apart from having, you know, a specific flavour, and I like to use that occasionally for the sort of crunchy texture, but not for the nutrition value. Okay, so I'm going to dish up some of my quinoa stew, and actually leaving it to sit for a minute is pretty good. So I've got, oh, it smells so good, I wish you could smell it. So I'm going to have some portion like that. I'm going to put a little bit of squeezed lemon over the top. And then I'm going to eat it. But I'm not going to eat it on camera. So, if you want the recipe, it's on there. It's actually listed as paella. This really is nothing like paella. Just got chorizo in it. So, have a great Saturday. Enjoy your evening. And don't forget, treat yourself to a bigger slice of life. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.